Namaskara. My name is Sangeetha Narayanan. I am from Puducherry, India. I have been learning Carnatic, veena, flute, vocal, violin and mandolin for the past 5 years. I am very delighted to present this episode of the Word Bytes section as a part of the Kural e-magazine. I would like to thank Kural e-magazine for giving me this wonderful opportunity to present this episode to you. Today, in this episode, the word I have chosen is moon and its synonyms. The word moon is really a favorite of all poets and also our Carnatic Vagyakaras for the reason that the moon is so special is its splendor in the night sky when we look at it and the charm which the moon gives us when we see it. And it is so useful to describe the face and the other features of the gods and goddesses who appear in the kritis. Now we will see the usage of the word moon and its synonyms in various languages, in various compositions used by different composers. Starting with Sanskrit, we have a number of words which are used to describe the moon, and 5 of the most important and most commonly used words are Chandra, Soma, Indu, Shashi and Vidu. So these are the repeatedly used words to denote the moon, and all these are used in similar contexts while describing the lord or the goddess in the composition. Now, seeing the main context in which the word moon is used, mainly there are 3 contexts. First one is to describe the form of the lord or the goddess adorning the moon on their head. The next one is to describe the face or the brightness of the face of the lord or goddess, and the third context is to describe the eyes of the lord or goddess. Now we will see the first context for the first word Chandra. First we will take up a phrase from a very popular kriti. Nirantaram Nitila Chandra Khandam. This is from the composition Vatapi Ganapatin, the most popular Ganesha kriti in Raga Hansadhvani, in the charanam of which Sri Muthuswami Dikshithar says, "O the one who adorns a crescent moon on your forehead, Nitila, which means the forehead, Chandra, which means the moon, and Khandam means a piece or a part of the moon." So this is an example where Lord Ganesha is said to adorn the crescent moon on his forehead. Another usage of Chandra in connection with Lord Ganesha we can see is in the kriti Sri Mahaganapati Ravatumam, where he is described as Gauravarna Vasanadharo Balachandro. Balachandro is used to describe Lord Ganesha as the young moon, not only in this composition but also in another composition, this time by Sri Saint Tyagaraja. We can see in the 7th charanam of the composition set to Ragam Sri, where Sri Tyagaraja lists down the names of all the Bhaktas and Bhagavatas who have attained the supreme bliss of Brahmananda. Pavana Sonu Balachandra Dara Shuka Saroja Bhavabu Suravarulu. Here, Balachandra Dara is used to describe Sri Ganesha as the one who adorns the small or young moon. So these are the various contexts in which Lord Ganesha is connected with the moon. Now moving to goddess Parvati, who is described to be adorning the moon on her head. This is evident in a number of compositions using different words. Now I will take up a popular Daruvarnam. Shatodari Shankari Chamundeshwari Chandrakaladhari Taye Gauri Mate. So this is Mate Malayadwaja, a beautiful Daruvarnam in Ragam Kamas, composed by Sri Harikeshnallur Muthaya Bhagavatar, where he describes the goddess as Chandra Kaladhari. So Kala means a crescent or a part of the moon. So Chandra Kaladhari, the one who adorns a part of the moon on her forehead or on her head. This same phrase Chandra Kaladhari is used by Sri Shama Shastri also in another composition on goddess Meenakshi. He describes her as Kamapalini Pavani Chandra Kaladhari. This is from a composition in Ragam Dhanyasi, Meenalochana Brova, where Sri Shyama Shastri also describes the goddess as the Bhavani who adorns the Chandrakala on her forehead. Next, we go on to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is very commonly described as the one who adorns the Chandra on his head. This is very clearly known from the name of Lord Shiva, Chandrasekhara. This is obtained by joining the two words Chandra and Shekhara. Chandra meaning the moon and Shekhara meaning the head. So, the word Chandrasekhara is used to describe Lord Shiva in various compositions. Soma Sundara Chandrasekhara Soma Skanda Shridajana Shubhakara Sabhagana Lolane. In this composition of Sri Papanasam Sivan, he describes Lord Shiva by using Soma Sundara Chandrasekhara. Soma is another word denoting the moon, and Soma Sundara means the one who is as beautiful as the moon. Chandrasekhara means the one who adorns the moon on his head. So Sri Papanasam Sivan beautifully combines these two words using the moon to describe Lord Shiva's beauty. Now we go on to the second context in which the word Chandra is used, which is used to describe the face or the beauty of the god or goddess. Now the word Chandra is used popularly in the word Chandramukhi, which is used to describe the goddess as the one who has a face as beautiful as the moon. We can see it in a very popular composition. Shankari Shankuru Chandramukhi Akhilandeshwari Shankari Shankuru Chandramukhi Akhilandeshwari Shambhavi Sarasija Bhavavandite Gauri Shankari Shankuru Chandramukhi, where Sri Shyama Shastri beautifully describes the goddess as the one who has a face as beautiful as the moon. Another reference of this word Chandramukhi is in the 9th Avarna of the Kamalamba Navavarna. Sri Kamalambike Raka Chandramukhi Rakshita Pola Mukhi, where Sri Muthuswami Dikshit describes the goddess as Raka Chandramukhi. Here Raka means the autumn season. So the autumn season moon is considered to be special in many compositions. Here he describes the goddess as the one who has a face that resembles the autumnal moon. Now moving on to another description using the word Chandra. Ambujalochana Kambushubhagriva Bimbarara Chandra Bimbanana. In this kriti in Ragam Neelambari, Madhava Mamavadeva, we come across Bimbadhara Chandra Bimbanana. Here Chandra Bimba has a meaning as a disc or a round object. So Chandra Bimba means the round moon. So Chandra Bimba Anana. Anana means the one who has the face. So Chandra Bimbanana here means the one who has the face like a round moon, or the face that resembles a round moon. Also we can find in the composition Saraswati Vidhiyuvati by Sri Muthuswami Dikshit. He describes the goddess as having Charu Chandrahasini, the one having a smile which resembles the moon. Charu Chandrahasini, a lovely smile which resembles the moon. So the shape of the smile resembles the crescent moon in this composition on goddess Saraswati. Another reference of Chandra used to describe the god's face is in the kriti Sri Vishwanathan Bhajeham by Sri Muthuswami Dikshit, Chaturdasha Ragamalika, in which we can find in the Viloma Sahityam in Ragam Shankarabharanam Vanaja Chandra Sangibha Vadanam. The one who has a Vadana or face which resembles the Vanaja or the lotus and the Chandra or the moon. Now, moving to the next context in which the word Chandra is used, we come to describing the eyes of the Lord or the Goddess. We can find this in the first Pancharatna Kriti of Sri Tyagaraja, in the third Charanam. Indra Neelamani Sannibha Pagana Chandra Surya Nayana Prameya. Here, Sri Tyagaraja says, Chandra Surya Nayana, the one who has the Nayana or the eyes as Chandra and Surya, the one who has the moon and sun as his eyes. Now we find that many compositions say that the Lord's eyes are similar to the sun and the moon. Maybe considering the Lord to be the ruler of the world, maybe our Vagyakaras thought that the brightest objects that we can see in the world should be considered as the eyes of the Lord or the Goddess in the composition. Now, moving on to another context in which the word Chandra is used. It is used in many compositions on Lord Rama, since Rama and Chandra compound to form a word Ramachandra, which is used in many compositions. Some of them are Challare Ramachandruni by Sri Tyagaraja in Ragam Ahiri, or Ramachandraya Janakaraja Jamanoharaya Mamakabhishtadaya Manita Mangalam by Sri Bhadrachala Ramadas. Other than this, another reference is used in many kritis on Lord Rama, like Raghuvamsa Sudha Mudi Chandra Shri, or Kamalapta Kula Kalashabdi Chandra. So here, Raghuvamsa Sudhambudhi Chandra Shri. So Chandra, which means the moon as we know, Sudha Ambudhi. So Ambudhi means the ocean and Sudha means nectar. So the one who is the moon in the nectar-like ocean of the Raghuvamsa or of the Raghu clan. So the composer Sri Patma Subramaniya describes the Raghu clan or the Raghu dynasty as an ocean, nectar-like ocean in which there are several kings, but Lord Rama stands apart as the moon among them. So the same reference is given in the phrase Kalashabdi Chandra by Sri Tyagaraja. Now moving to the next word, which is Soma. First, Soma Shekara is a name given to Lord Shiva, which is found in many compositions including Sri Mahaganapate Surapate in Ragam Nattai, composed by Sri Mayuram Vishwanatha Shastri. Soma Shekaranuta Sumukadayanide, to describe Lord Ganesha as the one who is praised by Soma Shekara, or the one who adorns the moon on his head, which is Lord Shiva. The next context in which it is used is to describe the face of the Lord and Goddess in the composition. A very popular composition. Soma Bimba Manohara Sumukhi Sevaka Khila Kamadana Nirata Kadaksha Vilasini Yamba Mamava Sada Janani. This composition by Maharaja Sri Swati Tirunal describes the goddess as Soma Bimba Manohara Sumukhi. Sumukhi means the one who has a beautiful face. Manohara means the one which captivates our hearts. Soma Bimba means the image or the round shape of the moon. Soma Bimba Manohara Sumukhi, the one who has a beautiful and captivating face similar to the moon or the round moon. Another usage by Sri Swati Tirunal in another kriti is Sharada Soma Samanana Virinji Sureshwara Sevya Paripalayama in Ragam Riti Gode, Talam Rupakam, where he says Sharada Soma Sama Anana. Sharada means the Sharat Ritu or the autumnal season, which is similar to the word Raka which we saw. Sharada Soma, so the autumnal moon. Sama Anana. Anana means the face. So the one who has a face similar to the autumnal moon is the description of Lord Padmanabha in this passage. Now, another popular composition of Sri Tyagaraja gets reminded at this juncture, which is Vadana Dyuti Jita Soma Vasudha Manasa Kama, from the composition Shobhane, a beautiful Utsav Sampradaya Kriti where Sri Tyagaraja says Vadanam Dyuti Jita Soma, which means Vadana meaning the face, Dyuti means the splendor or the brightness. So, O the one whose bright face excels or defeats the Soma, Jita Soma, the one whose bright face defeats even the moon in terms of its brightness. Next, we see the context in which the word Soma is used to describe the eyes of the Lord or the goddess. We see common depictions of Lord Shiva in this context, where we see Lord Shiva's eyes being compared to the sun, moon, and the third eye being compared to fire respectively. We see this in Samadhi Nigama Sanchara Soma Nitarani Lochana Kamadi Kandana Sudrama Sita Pada, in the composition Isha Patima, where Sri Tyagaraja says Soma Agni Tarani Lochana. Lochana means the eyes, Soma means the moon, Agni means fire, and Tarani means the sun. A unique composition also refers to Lord Ganesha having three eyes, Ganapati Mahamate in Ragam Kalyani. Soma Surya Netra, in the Charanam, where Lord Ganesha is said to have Soma, Surya and Agni as his Netra or eyes. Another popular occurrence of the word Soma to describe the eyes of the Lord is Pavanaja Stuti Patra Pavana Charitra Ravi Soma Varanetra Ramaniya Gatra Sita Kalyana Vaibhogame, in which Lord Rama is said to have Ravi Soma Varanetra, the sun and the moon as his beautiful eyes. Now, moving on to the next word, which is Shashi. Shashi is used again to describe the moon on the forehead of Lord Shiva in the composition Shankaram Abhirami Manoharam Shashidharam Amrita Kateshwaram Pajeham, in Ragam Kamala Manotari on Lord Amrita Kateshwarar of Tirukadayur, where he is described as Shashidharam, the one who adorns the crescent moon. The next context in which the word Shashi is used is to describe the beautiful face of the Lord and the goddess. Here we can see the composition Shashi Vadana Bhakta Janavana Shashi Vadana Bhakta Janavana, on Lord Rama, composed by Sri Tyagaraja. The speciality of this composition is that it is composed in the ragam Chandra Jyoti, which also has the word Chandra in it, which makes it more connected with the moon. We also have Rakasha Shivadane Suradane Rakasha Shivadane, in the composition Kanchadalayadakshi in Ragam Kamala Manohari, in the Charanam of the composition, where Sri Muthuswami Dikshita describes the goddess as having beautiful teeth, Suradane, also having a face that resembles the autumnal moon. Moving on to Shashi being used to describe the Lord's eyes. We have in the composition Vajare Manasa by Sri Mysore Vasudevacharya, we have the phrase Ravi Shashi Nayanam in the Charanam. This is an example where Shashi is used to describe the eyes of the Lord. In another example, again from the Kriti Sri Vishwanatham Bhajeham, we have Varada Manala Ravi Shashi Nayanam in Ragam Kamboji, where Ravi and Shashi are said to be the two eyes of the Lord. Now we move on to the context in which Shashi is used just to describe the moon and not to describe any god or goddess. In the 7th charanam of Endaro Mahanubhavulu, we can see Parama Bhagavatamau Nivara Shashi Vibhakara Sanaka Sanandana, where Shashi and Vibhakara means the sun. So in the list of Bhagavatas, the moon and the sun come first, who have attained the Brahmananda or bliss by meditating upon the Lord. Now, in the same composition which we looked earlier, Bhajare Re Manasa, we can see Ravi Shashi Kuja Buddha Guru Shukra Shanai Chara Rahu Ketu Netaram, where Lord Rama is described as the leader of the Navagrahas, beginning with the sun, Ravi, and Shashi, which is the moon. So these are some examples. Next word will be Indu. We can find Indu in compositions like Rama Manohari Rakendu Shekhari Sukhakari. In the Kriti, Matangi Sri Rajarajeshwari in Ragam Rama Manohari, composed by Sri Dikshidhar, where Raka Endu Shekhari. Since Indu starts with a vowel sound, when it combines with other words ending with vowels, it changes its sound. Here, Raka and Indu have been combined to make Rakendu Shekhari. Similarly, in another composition, Rakendu Vadanam Bhagavantam Ramaniya Kalyana Gunavantam. In the composition Ramachandra Bhavyami by Sri Muthuswami Dikshithar. Also, we can again find the word Indu in Sri Vishwanatham Bhajeham. In the 5th ragam, which is Gaulai, we can find Kshira Kundendu Karpuradi Vijaya Bhasito Dhulita Gaulangam, which describes Lord Shiva as having Gaula Angam, or having white complexion in his entire body and limbs, which is smeared with ashes. Udhulita Gaulangam, which is smeared with ashes, which is greater or which has a better and brighter complexion, which wins over all the whitest substances which we can see, which are Kshira, milk, Kunda, jasmine flower, Indu, the moon, and Karpura, which is camphor. So Lord Shiva's beauty and brilliance is extolled in this line. Next we go on to the word Vidhu. Vidhu Vidam Bana Vadane Vijaye. In the magnum opus composition of Sri Muthuswami Dikshithar, Meenakshi Memudam Dehi in Ragam Gamaka Kriya or Purvi Kalyani, where Sri Muthuswami Dikshithar says Vidhu Vidambana Vadane. So Vidambana means to defeat, Vidhu means the moon. So O the one, O the Meenakshi who has a face which even defeats the moon in complexion. Another appearance of the word Vidhu is in the composition Kamakshi. Again a beautiful brilliant composition of Sri Shama Shastri, where he says Kambugala Nirata Chikura Vidhu Vadana Mayam, where Sri Shama Shastri says Vidhu Vadana, the one who has the face like the moon. So these are some of the uses of the word Vidhu. Now going on to the other words, Sudhakara is used to refer to the moon. Sudha means nectar. Kara means the one who creates or produces. So the moon is said to be the giver or producer of nectar. We see this in a very popular composition of Sri G. N. Balasubramaniam on Goddess Saraswati. Surasevita Padayugane Sudhakara Samadhavale. So Sudhakara Samadhavale. So Dhavala means the complexion. So the one who has a complexion which is equivalent, sama, to Sudhakara or the moon. Similarly, Sudhakara is used to describe the eyes of the Lord in a very popular composition, Marugela Charachara Rupa Paratpara Surya Sudhakara Lochana Marugelara. Where Sri Tyagaraja Swami says, O Rama, who has the Surya, the sun, and the Sudhakara or the moon as your eyes. The next synonym of the moon is Nishakara. So Nisha means the night. So Nishakara is the one who appears at night. So this is found mainly in a composition of Sri Mysore Vasudevacharya. Raka Nishakara Sannibha Vadane Rajeva Lochane. In Ragam Bilahari, Sri Chamundeshwari, where Sri Mysore Vasudevacharya says, O the goddess who has a face that resembles the autumnal moon, which is described by the word Nishakara. The next word to describe the moon will be Shashanka, or another word similar to that is Shashadhara. Shashanka is again used in Sri Vishwanatham Bhajeham. So this is a composition which I found is containing 4 references to the moon in a single composition. Here in the 4th rag Natai we find Jagat Prakashaka Bhaskara Shashanka Koti Koti Prakasham, where Lord Shiva Kashi Vishwanatha is said to be crores of times brighter than the sun and the moon, which is the Bhaskara and the Shashanka, which illuminate the world, Jagat Prakashaka. So this is the application of the word Shashanka. We find the word Shashadhara in a composition from the Kamakshi Navavarnam of Sri Uttukadi Venkata Subbayar. Gajamukha Janani Shashadhara Vadani Shishirita Bhuvani Shiva Manuramani Bhajaswa Shri Tripura Sundari. In Ragam Nadanamakriya, where Sri Uttukadi Venkata Subbayar says, Shashadhara Vadani, the one who has a face that resembles the moon, Shashadhara. Again we see it in another composition of Sri N.C.H. Krishnamacharyalu, where he says, Gauri Sukumari Shankaranari Manasime Vasatu Shashadhara Kaladari Talodari. So goddess is said to be adorning the Shashadhara, which is the moon, Kaladhari. So Shashadhara Kaladhari, the one who adorns a part of the moon, which is Shashadhara. So another set of names for the moon is due to its cooling effect or cooling rays. They are Shita Kirana, Shita Kara and Shita Amshu. So these names are used in a few compositions. In the composition Hiranmayim Lakshmi, she is said to be, goddess Lakshmi is described to be Shita Kirana Nibhavatanam Shita Chintamani Sadanam. So goddess Lakshmi is said to be having a face which is similar or resembles the Shita Kirana, or Shita means cool and Kirana means rays. So the cool rayed one, which is the moon. Next we see the word Shita Kara. So this appears in a composition of Sri Mysore Vasudevacharya. Pranamamyaham Shri Gauri Sutam, where in the Charana we find Shita Kara Amita Garva Khandanam. So Lord Ganesha is said to be the one who curbs or destroys Khandanam, the Amita Garva, the excessive Garva, Garva meaning the arrogance or pride of the Shitakara or the moon. We all know the story when the moon invites Lord Ganesha to a feast, and then when Lord Ganesha walks back, he slips and falls, and Lord Chandra laughs at him. Seeing this vain and arrogant behavior of Chandra, Lord Ganesha immediately curses him to be invisible. Then he retracts the curse and reduces it to the moon waxing and waning during the month, and one day of the month it will not be visible at all. And so this is implied by this phrase in this composition, Pranamamyaham Shri Gauri Sutam. Next one is Shitamshu. So Shitamshu is used in the composition Ananda Ratana Prakasham Panchabhuta Linga Kriti on Chidambaram, where Shitashugangadharam Nidakandharam. In the Charanam, where Lord Shiva is said to be the one who adorns the Shitamshu, the cold red one, which is the Chandra, and the Ganga, so the Ganga river, on his hair. Now going to the other words which are quite rare but which are special usages and creative usages to denote the Chandra, we find the word Taradipa used to denote Lord Chandra. So Tara means the stars. So Tara Adipa means the Lord of the stars. Since the Chandra is the brightest object in the night sky, we consider him to be the Lord of the stars, and also because according to the legend, Daksha, King Daksha Prajapati is said to have given his 27 daughters, which are said to be the nakshatras in the sky, as given in marriage to Lord Chandra. So he is said to be the Taradipa. We find this reference of Taradipa in a Tillana in Ragam Kapi. Taradipa nana dasharatha tanaya sadaya neenunam Taradipa nana. So it describes Lord Srinivasa as the one who has the anana of the face similar to the Taradipa or Chandra. This word Taradipa is also used in another composition of Sri N.C. Krishnamacharyalu. Taradipa Sahodari. In the composition Marajanamim Ashraye, Ragam Natakapriya, in which he describes goddess Lakshmi as the sister of Taradipa or the sister of Lord Chandra. This is because since it is believed that during the Samudra Mantana or the churning of the milk ocean, goddess Lakshmi and also Lord Chandra are said to have emerged from the ocean of milk, hence they are considered to be brother and sister. Another usage is Nakshatresha, which means again the Lord of the stars. We can find this in the composition Neelakantam Bajeham. Nakshatresha Shekharam, the one who adorns the Nakshatresha on his head. So the one who adorns the Lord of the stars, which is the moon, on his head. Now moving on to another usage, which is Rohinisha. So this is a very uncommon usage which is used by Sri Pudukkodu Krishnamurti in his composition. Rohinisha Sama Sundaravadana, praising Lord Krishna as the one who has a beautiful face that resembles the Rohinisha. So generally the nakshatra Rohini, the star Rohini, is considered to be the most favorite wife of Lord Chandra. So he is described as the one who is the husband of Rohini in this phrase. Another very uncommon usage is Vibhavarisha, which means Vibhavari meaning the night, Isha means the Lord. So the Lord of the night is said to be Chandra. This is found in a composition of Sri Swati Tirunal, Palai Madhava Mamanisham in Ragam Asaveri. We find this Kanupasura Kirita Shobhita Vibhavarisha Vadanamala Nupama Palaya Madhava Mamanisham, where he says, oh, the one who has a face similar to the moon, which is the Vibhavarisha. So these are some of the usages of moon in the Sanskrit language. Seeing the Navaratri Kritis of Sri Swati Tirunal, we find it very fascinating that he has used the word moon in 8 of the 9 compositions in the Navaratri Kritis. That shows the connection of goddess with the moon. He describes the goddess as the one who adorns the moon on her forehead, as the one who has the face similar to the moon in various compositions, most popular of them being Pahi Parvata Nandini Mamayi Parvanendu Samavatane Amba Pahi. So in this he says Parvana Indu Samavatane. Parvana means the full, Indu means the moon. So the one who has a face that resembles the full moon, he says in this composition. Now moving on to Tamil. So Tamil has mainly 3 words which denote the moon. First being Madi. This is employed in many compositions. Starting from Tattvamariya Tarama, we find Madi Shekaran Magane Sumukane, which denotes Lord Ganesha as the son of the one who adorns the moon on his forehead. Madi Shekaran Magane. Where else to find the word Madi than in the Tirupavai by Sri Andal Nachiyar, where we find Margazhi Tingal Madi Niraindha Nannadal. So Niraindha means filled with and Madi means the moon. So Andal says that the first day of Margazhi is a full moon night where the moon is completely full. Next we find the compositions on Lord Krishna extolling him as having a Madi Vadana. You can find Nirai Madi Vadana Madani Nilanage Nilavarulolitavarum Pala Krishna Padamalar, where Nirai Madi Vadana Madanil. So in the Nirai means the complete. So in the full moon face of Lord Krishna, a beautiful small gentle smile Ilanagai is there, which gives us the Aruloli, which is glorious grace of Lord Krishna. We find this, and also in the composition Guruvayurappane Appan we find Murumadi Mogam Tigal Arul Pili Chudargal, the one who has beautiful eyes which are like lamps lit on the beautiful face which is resembling the full moon. Also in the composition Kapali Karunai Nilavu Polivadana Madiyanur Kapali, where he is said to be Vardhana Madiyan, so the one who has a face similar to the moon. So these are some examples. Next we move to the word Nilavu. So Nilavu appears in a few compositions including Tedinda Nilavu Patta Pagal Pol Eriyade. So in this composition Alaipaide Kanna, which everybody is familiar with, we find that Tedinda Nilavu, the clear moon, Patta Pagal Pol Eriyade. So the moon is supposed to be cooling, but for this Naika who is missing Lord Krishna, she says that even the beautiful moon seems like as if the sun is scorching in the day. The word Nilavu is used in another composition. Kulumaikku avanoru Nilavu, in the composition Muruganin Marupeyaragu, where Lord Muruga is said to be Kulumaikku avanoru Nilavu. So Muruga is the moon for coolness. So this is an example of the word Nilavu in a composition. Next, going to Tingal, we find a few compositions. Deviya Viruvar Meviya Guhane Tingalai Aninda Shankaran Magane, in the composition Kuvi Alittal Kural Kudupan in Ragam Varachi. We also find Gangayai Tingalai Karita Shadayal Tuki, in the composition Kalai Tuki Nindradu in Ragam Yadukula Kamboji. Moving on to Telugu, we find this phrase Chukkala Rayani in many compositions of Sri Tyagaraja, where Chukkala means the stars, Raya means the Lord or the King. So in many compositions we find, especially we find Chukkala Rayani Kerumo Gala. So it describes Goddess Sita as the one who has the momo, the face, which even defeats or puts to shame Keru, the Chukkala Raya, which is the moon. Again, the word Chandra is common to Telugu as well. We can find it in compositions like Satileni Gurugamurtini, Koti Malmadarude Sarguna Sagara Chandrude. So Sri Guruguha is described as the one who is the moon in the Sadguna Sagara, in the ocean of good virtues, he is the moon in the ocean. So this is another example of Chandra used in a Telugu composition. Another word which is used by Sri Tyagaraja to refer to the moon is Raja. So this can be found in many compositions including Darini Telusukonti, where we find Rajashekarudavu Shri Tyagaraja Manohari Gauri Parapari, where Lord Shiva is said to be the one who has the Raja on his head. So Rajashekara, similar to Chandrasekhara, Rajashekara, the one who has on his head the Raja, which is the moon. We also see this in Patiki Haratire again, where we see Raja Vibhakara Rajadhara Mara. So a beautiful verse is coined by Sri Tyagaraja there. Raja Vibhakara Rajadhara Amara Raja Sukhaja Virajulu Chudaga. So here he says, he describes all of them who are watching the Harati taking place to Lord Rama. He says, first he starts with Raja, which is the Chandra. Then he says Vibhakara, which is the sun. Then he says Rajadhara, so the one who adorns the Raja, which is again Lord Shiva. So this is an example where he uses Raja as the moon and then builds upon it to bring beautiful poetical verses. Next we move on to Malayalam. So Malayalam uses again Indu, Vidhu and Chandra and Madi to describe the moon. We find it in beautiful Padam of Sri Swati Tirunal. Pani Madi Mukhi Bale, where the Nayika in this Padam tells to her friend Sakhi that, oh the maiden who has a beautiful face like the Chandra, like the moon, Panimadi Mukhi Bale. Today Padmanabhan didn't show me his compassion, so I am struck with the arrows of love to Lord Padmanabha, the Nayika says here. Also in the Charanam we find Lokavasigal Kellam Lobhaniya Namindu Shukameni Kyumatram Sumukhi Tarunabindu. So Indu and Indu are beautifully rhymed here, and here the Nayika says, to all the residents of the world, the moon brings them happiness and joy, but for me alone it brings me such a sad state. Why is this so? She asks her companion when Lord Padmanabha doesn't come to meet her in the night. So this is an example of the word Indu and Madi used in a Malayalam composition. In a Devi Pancharatna Kirtanam composed by Sri Pudukkodu Krishnamurti, he uses the word Chandra repeatedly to bring a beautiful effect. Chandra Shekhara Bhamini Mukha Chandra Krita Mruduhasini. In this he says, oh the wife of Chandrasekhara, whose face is like a moon and it has a beautiful smile. So this is a usage of the word Chandra. These are some examples of Malayalam compositions using the word moon. Now moving on to Kannada, we find that the word Chandra is again used here. We find the beautiful composition of Sri Purandaradasar on Lord Kumbeshwara of Kumbakonam. Chandra Chuta Shiva Shankara Parvati Ramana Dinage Namo Namo in Ragam Darbari Kannada. So these were some examples of the word moon used in different languages: Sanskrit, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam and Kannada. So this is definitely not an exhaustive list. There are numerous other compositions which use the word moon in different contexts. I have tried to cover as many of them as possible. I would like to thank Kural e-magazine once again for giving me this wonderful opportunity to be a part and to present this episode of Word Bytes section. This helped me to learn a lot and understand the meaning of words which I didn't know before. So I would like to thank Kural e-magazine and thank all of you for watching. I hope all of you enjoyed this presentation as much as I enjoyed presenting it to you. Thank you.